I hope you guys are ready for some Disney nostalgia in this video. Okay, so I'm gonna be reviewing Sleeping Beauty. I haven't given it a review recently, but you didn't notice that. Sorry about that, but for context, sorry about the light. So I got the Platinum edition of this movie recently in let's cut to the chase and begin. So you basically, I'm going to be short on this video because of the time, how much time I have, but so basically when it comes to this movie, it's Sleeping Beauty. So King Stephanie and his wife had a little child. And Taylor Holmes, who plays the guy, also has with Key Hubert, and because Maria Costa, who recently just had her birthday recently. I'm doing this because of her birthday. Who voices Aurora, Fire Rose, basically. So basically, the whole purpose is as the good fairies, let's see, Fiora, Merryweather, well, Fiora and Fauna do their gifts of who was played by Burnforth. Merryweather was about to do hers, but until Morepsin out of nowhere comes out and tries to cast a spell on Aurora, and Morepsin apparently wants to make sure that Aurora puts her finger on the spinning wheel when she hits 16 and wants her to die. But when that came to what Morepsin's prediction does come true, all it takes is when true loves kiss, the spell shall break. And of course, Walt Disney is the producer of this movie. Now, I just want to say that I get a lot of nostalgic vibes when it comes to Sleeping Beauty. It's one of my favorite Disney movies, personally. Well, obviously. And despite having the Walt Disney Signature Edition in my digital collection ever since 2024, I just want to say that I actually did have a fun experiment. I mean, having a very positive experience with Sleeping Beauty. It's a very enjoyable movie. Aurora, like those goblins, Morepsin tries last into the goblin slot, and it calls them idiots for at least laughing along with her. I like the comebacks with when Merryweather is trying to do the Flora, the fairy who wears the red, and then Merryweather's like, looks awful. That's because it's on you, dear. And there was also that one scene where Merryweather is like disgusted with the dress be pink. And she's like, oh no, not blue. Make it pink. Flora, like, oh, Merryweather. Make it pink. And look, got the pop edition of Sleeping yeah. Flora and Merryweather go back and forth with the dress. Merryweather wants the dress blue. Fiora wants a pink, and you can see with that fight at the end, the movie. You obviously trying to fight over the color of the dress. Morepsin felt like jealous. Morepsin was one of my favorite villains. I mean, and Prince Philip's throwing the sword at her when Maleficent is as a dragon. That's gruesome. But it's one of the most satisfying deaths in a Disney movie, especially when it comes to animated movies. The animation looked very beautiful, and I've always wondered why did took forever. Why it took the entire decade to complete Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty was one of the more pricey animated movies to make at the time, but nonetheless, Sleeping Beauty did very well. Yeah, I'm always up for Disney nostalgia when it comes to their early years. Because the classic Disney movies, like these anime movies from the previous century, are always going to be good. I mean, gives me all that nostalgia. And Sleeping Beauty, it's only Sleeping Beauty's running time is 75 minutes, so Sleeping Beauty is one of the easiest movies to sit through because of that running time. It's pretty straightforward. An hour and 15 minutes should be basic. It's plain simple. Yeah. Sleeping Beauty's development started in 1950. It almost took a decade, but Sleeping Beauty eventually was finished at the end. Given the fact that this was one of the most expensive anime feature at the time, the re-releases that Sleeping Beauty has ever gotten, yeah. Sleeping Beauty was up for a nomination for the Oscars in 1960 for Best Original Scores. Best Original Score. It was under Best Musical Score of a Musical Picture. Sleeping Beauty never it was the 32nd Oscars in 1960. But nice for the Oscars to recognize Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, Sleeping Beauty did Sleeping Beauty also received a Grammy nomination for the Best Soundtrack Album Original Cast Motion Picture. It had various changes. It also won the Saturn Awards for Outstanding Overall Blu-ray Disc, and also a couple other awards that Sleeping Beauty. But the re-releases of Sleeping Beauty, I've really had a nice experience with this movie. I mean, it's really a movie that I can watch again and again and again. The art direction and the voice acting were pretty memorable. Kind of like I did like the Good Fairies. Aurora was pretty. You didn't get to see. I think the movie focused on mostly the fairies. It was less Aurora didn't appear as much in the movie, but I kind of thought that the fairies were the main focus on the movie. I mean, trying to stop Maleficent tried to break Maleficent's. He kind of did. And Mary Costa, who voiced Aurora, did sue the Disney company for royalties of $2 million that was owed to her since the home video release for Sleeping Beauty since the she sued Disney for royalties over $2 million owed to her since the 1986 release. And she said and she said that Disney prevented it from producing those did something without asking her. The case, of course, the case got settled at court in 1991. Whatever the amount of sum that with Mary Costa received is not known. So I cannot. So that remains a mystery. But anyways, phonograph recordings or transcripts for sale to the public without asking. That was why. But enough about the lawsuit. That was just a loss. That was the only thing about that. But like I said, Sleeping Beauty is one of those beautiful. Sleeping Beauty is one of those Disney animated features that I will watch again and again. It's like I said, it's one of my personal favorites. Given the fact that it's from the 50s, like with Sleeping Beauty, with Cinderella's another one I enjoy. Lady and Tramp is pretty to me it's underrated. Peter Pan I did enjoy too. Alice in Wonderland's another hit. But Lady and Tramp is that one anime feature from the 50s that I kind of find underrated because I don't give it enough appreciation because I don't give these anime movies enough appreciation. But Sleeping Beauty I do give a lot of appreciation because like I said, Sleeping Beauty's nostalgic for me. And I wanted to go through the nostalgic purposes. Review Sleeping Beauty because of all the nostalgia vibes I get from this movie. First is Aurora, fairies, Prince Philip, Maleficent, and her death is very satisfying. I just love this movie. I recommend it to all the Disney fans that if you want a good movie, anime classic, Sleeping Beauty is the one to watch. Anyways, what's my rating for Sleeping Beauty? 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. Perfectionism. You just can't go wrong with Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty originally received mixed reviews, but Sleeping Beauty's reception as of 2025 when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes is at 90%. Pretty good. The audience score is pretty positive, but not as positive as the critics. To say the least. But yes, like I said, Sleeping Beauty's reception, I believe, is still positive right now. It didn't start off as positive at first, but when it comes to the reception today, it's still positive. And yes, I do enjoy Sleeping Beauty, like I stated before. It's a movie that I want to watch again and again. If you guys are looking for a Disney movie to have nostalgic vibes, Sleeping Beauty is just one of those movies. Okay, so I'm going to just end the movie review here. And like I said, I just wanted to keep this review short because of the time that my camera has right now. So thank you for watching this review of Sleeping Beauty, and I'll hopefully continue to review more movies. I'm probably going to redo my review for The Secret of Our Lives, but yeah. Stay tuned for more movie reviews, and this was my first for April.